Hi folks, we are back at the 8 Regents of Westeros tournament, the 6th round, so only 2 rounds to go. And this time we are facing Martell, who actually is behind us at the moment. They have not had the best tournament and they find themselves 1-0 behind after the first game, and the second game features Radek against Francesco Cirilli. Francesco actually has started this tournament really well with 3 wins, then lost the last 2 games, so hopefully it's more of the same today. But he is a tough opponent for sure, and I believe the game should be starting very soon. So before it starts, we can have a look at the other pairings. So it's all pretty tough. Look at the team Martell has here at the top, right? Marcel Arias plays Rupert, then we also have Aaron Groth against Jamie. David plays Steven, that could be another tough one for us. Then we have Mad, who of course was in the World Final this year against Gareth. And then the other pairings, I feel like we have more of a chance in the second half, right? We have Sonchek against Geralt Gamrat, okay. Then Ivan against Mates, King in the north against Eric, and the new player Zierzak against Kairong. So yeah, we need to win 5 of these 9 that are still remaining, and it honestly looks like a tough prospect, but 4 out of 9, yeah, that's a bit more realistic to get at least a draw, but we'll see how it goes. If Radek wins today, it is a good start for sure. And the players have now started, and it's the second Martell Kingdom of Shadows. Feuerbert played one against me, and Radek is playing the same, so this could be quite interesting. Who has the better Kingdom of Shadows deck? Now, of course, when I play Kingdom of Shadows, it's just a ladies deck, has 1 shadow card, but Radek is not that type of player, so we know shadows are coming for sure. And I think Martell kind of has to do the same. Starts with the throne and some econ, and Radek starts with the arbor. Both players have 2 cards in shadows, so we'll see how it goes. Who has the better support for shadows? Old Town Undercity in Tyrell is a great card. Martell has the Shadow City, and neither player at the moment has any infection characters in play, so remember the downside: if you don't have any, marshalling into shadows costs 1 extra. And Radek goes into Gates of the Moon, which of course we know is a card that can be used with sparrows because it has the 7th trait. And if the game is long and not much power gained, that could be important. And okay, High Garden Refugee is the cheap character Radek needs to be able to marshal into shadows. He knows he's completely safe from barring and exposed duplicity now, so can just afford to waste around to put all of the annoying cards into shadows. But Francesco has more gold here, so he could be the player that gets the early pressure. And what is the plan? So if he wants to marshal into shadows, he needs an infection character, otherwise it costs him. Remember what this does, highlight it for you. And he does it, he accepts the penalty and just marshals something for 3. And this is where it's problematic. Of course you do get a huge advantage, even if you are willing to eat the extra cost. You can have shadow characters from all kinds of factions, so you can get a good stuff package with shadows, with let's say Sir Robert Strong and Shadow Priestess, Nighttime Marauders, Starfall Spy, everything basically Rick. So it might still be worth it. So far it hasn't been. Competitively it's not considered a good deck at the moment, doesn't have good results. And losing Hired Assassin. Now if you're up against the Shadows deck, That's a great card. I'm surprised it's not in shadows. Maybe there is one actually in shadows, and I wonder if Radek has the same. I don't think he plays it. Okay. That's a new one. So it looks like Francesco is prepared to face shadows here. Otherwise, that's a weird card to include, so I guess this could be tough for us in that case. Radek is known to play some shadows, but hasn't really been doing in this tournament. He's played one assault from the shadows and the others not so much. Nighttime Marauders reveals bounty, 2 copies of the Knight of Flowers, so he can come in duped. Then there is also Gate of the Gods and the Hand's Judgment. And discards nothing from that, but next time Nighttime Marauders comes in, it will be more costly probably. So needs to play some of those cards, and Radek plays this Hand's Judgment on the gold gain, which makes sense. Francesco knew it was in hand anyway. Losing Unexpected Guile could be slightly annoying. And it's Francesco who starts better in terms of power now. Has 1 card left in shadows. Now goes Behest, and does he have Naval or does he have Summer Harvest? Well, it could be that he has both, although this is not the type of deck that would play Naval, I think. So has plenty of gold now, doesn't have the downside on his plot, and can even afford to perhaps marshal something into shadows more expensively if he doesn't want to play a Martell character. And there is the Shadow City, so now he can basically put his entire hand into shadows, right? If he likes. And even if he wastes a round by just doing that, Radek is not really... It's not the kind of round where you would want to push the advantage and marshal stuff. I mean, do challenges with your cards a lot, so you want Martell deck to stay low on cards. Knight of Flowers comes in duped, like we expected, so super protected. Just can't afford to have it marched. Or him marched, I should say. And this is useful. Now left in hand still is bounty, right? So if Nighttime Marauders comes back in, yeah, my memory is not that great to remember exactly what all the cards were. Gate of the Gods was in hand, and Hand Judgment, those are already gone. And now that's the second hired assassin. And gets a cat's paw. Yeah. Bad news, Francesco seems completely prepared for this matchup, so took a guess and guessed correctly, it seems. Now whether it wins him the game remains to be seen, but it's a good start. And is there any danger in just defending this with the Knight of Flowers? You are giving a card away for the plot, which is annoying. And if you trigger Scheming Septon and then Nighttime Marauders comes in and chooses cost 2, actually he would not immediately be in hand, he goes to the top of the deck. Thanks, the refugee wants to keep the Knight of Flowers protected. Wonder what the reset situation is as well here. And loses Knight of Flowers on the other side. Okay, so Radek is just going to do challenges now. He's feeding cards, but yeah, has to start turning it around. And both sparrows in play without unexpected guile. That's a little worrying, because they would be great if you could recycle them. And I wonder if there is a chance. There is no Misty Morn, right? And no First Snow or anything like that, so would be probably a good time just to have them killed. There comes Marauders and gets Skimming Septon. Reek, Tethersold, Hand's Judgment, Varys still in hand. Which Varys is that? The one that kills characters with power. So that could be the Knight of Flowers on the other side. Probably not much else. Maybe what's that guy? The mercenary guy. Not old Tethersold, the Tattered Prince. Potentially. So Radek now ahead after the Sparrows triggers. Oh, and he has PD. Well, okay, now we're talking. Now that's a setback for Martell for sure. Yeah. Well, you also have to count on that against Tyrell. That's the one plot that he really needed here. And he had it. Now, of course, it goes into Doshi, which is an econ plot, so it's not like Francesco is super poor now, but could have been. And maybe the rest of the deck now, the rest of the plots are not so good with gold, and a lot of the econ has already been spent. He has this though, which is quasi-econ. One location for the gold and a hand to marshal other stuff, so. Throne being gone is helpful as well, just not automatic loss for Radek now in dominance to lose 1 power. Okay. Yeah, refuses to have bad econ. And keeps the 5 gold, the magic number, right, for Sir Robert Strong. Tatters comes out, he's going to search first. And then trigger the Undercity, right? We saw that in one of the previous games being triggered in the wrong order. It's taken Lay Waste, which, yeah, is... I don't know, if you do it, it's risky because you're giving, let's say on the Shadow City, right? You're giving the opponent options to search the deck. Now, the worst we've seen so far is just an Iron Throne that could come out, or more econ. Maybe this, but you never know. And here comes icon control. It's going to take the only military icon away and stop the Knight of Flowers from gaining some much needed power for renown. Now, poison coin is a thing, but everyone has shadow. What's the text exactly? Did we see one? Yeah. Character without shadow, yeah, so can't really poison anyone. losing this one, not that nice. Actually, this is a way to recur sparrows, right? Now one is dead. Could still be an unexpected guile now. And a pretty good draw for Radek anyway now with the Undercity, as long as that's in play. So difficult for him to run out of cards ever. And now what? Do we have a way to gain gold? Can try with Starfall Spy to put something in. She and Ariane can attack on the Intrigue challenge pretty easily. She has stealth as well, so power could work. But Starfall Spy alone might struggle to win a challenge. Both of them come in, and they will win by 5. No gold at the moment. What's coming in? It's going to take another icon, whatever it is. Bolt and Flare, okay. Well, Radek is lower on the cost, so stuff will die if he takes Scheming Septon to hand, and Sparrows is going. And then we are in that March territory, pretty close to it, which is annoying. Yeah, that Ariane Martell could go for sure. And now more gold gained. And more tempo here. Marauders back in hand. That's another icon gone. Can win on defense if you have unexpected guile for the Sparrows. But you don't. Okay. That's the last remaining icon gone, is it? No, triggered already 3 times, okay. Only 1 defense and wins, that's fine. And what can we do with the 4 gold? Anything else in shadows? Another Sparrows. Okay. They refuse to go away. And it's a power icon that can win. Yeah, just missing unexpected guile. That would have been so nice. So Radek up to 9. It's not that far away. Okay, now that his icons are controlled and the board is getting smaller. Okay, doesn't want to search for anything else. Cancels it instead. Delay waste. Interesting. I guess he needs the Shadow City. Boom. And now Francesco has to go first to protect Ariane Martell. Yeah, Radek needed her gone, for sure. Allows him to keep Sparrows alive, though. And Bolt and Flare is gone as well. There's no Ramsey Snow or anything like that in this deck, so Knight of Flowers is safe for the moment. And I'm sure other stuff will be coming in. And if you want to put Marauders in Shadows again, you need an Infection character. Now Martell has a few Shadow characters, right? So the Tattered Prince and these Starfall Spies, but mainly you could just play the Grimblood Traders. You can search your cards as well, so Don't need to go super crazy with all the shadow stuff. 3 gold, so that's enough for Marauders. And depends, of course, if Starfall Spy stops up, can bring something in, or if it's stopped from winning a challenge. Okay, and this time 0 gold for Radek. Has the Skimming Septon though. And the important thing is that he brings something into play through shadows, I think, because the Undercity needs to draw more now. Could play defensively this round and stop Starfall Spy from winning if he can. Or is Francesco going to be worried about that 9 power if he leaves unopposed? Then could be trouble, right? Goes for it. Now is it worth defending with both or just with Eleanor? Defends with both. And wins on defense. Now, will we see the Marauders come in? Hasn't used the Shadow City, I don't think, in challenges, right? You can draw a bit with that. Hasn't really needed to. Has nothing else. Now the first thing that happens is Skimming Septon. Now you could try to hit him now, before the challenge, but no. And is there a way to stop the Knight of Flowers? There isn't, at least there's no power claim, but he does have Renown. Okay, and Reek, probably you do need to stop. Well, you can trade him for the Starfall Spy. Participating, right? So now she can bring something in. She can bring that Marauders. Yeah. Now what's it going to hit? This time it's more successful. Hits Unexpected Guile and Skimming Septon. And the Guile was a great card earlier when there was no... when the Sparrows were still there. Not so much now, but okay. So it's more renowned for the Knight of Flowers, no claim, and unfortunately missing 1 gold for dominance unless he has... what does he have? Actually, we can see that. He still has Varys, the Starry Sept, and the Queen of Thorns, so that's not a bad hand. Up to 12, needs another good round, and he's safe from Morghulis. Plays the father into Varys' riddle, and is allowed to go first now. Yeah, if you give Rick away, you can potentially father him back into your own hand. So what's the plan now? Marshal everything and count on the Knight of Flowers to gain the 2 renown you need. Well, power challenge with him would win the game, but we know there's icon control. And if Francesco has redrawn Rihanna Martell, then he can stop it, I think. And he's marshaled the card into shadows. We know that Varys was in hand. We know that this was in hand and the Starry Sept was in hand, but we don't know what he top decked. So could be something like Penny that comes in for free even, or for 1. Skimming Septon not in play now. How many left? 2 have been discarded, so I think Radek is safe. And unfortunately, Francesco has found secret schemes. Okay, it's a desperation move probably because he needs to defend the power challenge and blank Knight of Flowers or take his icon away. And he spent most of the gold now. Okay, and there we are. He needed that. It still has renown though, and he can do the other challenge. You still need to defend against everything. She has stealth as well, so not easy. Okay, going for the most logical thing, which makes me think he doesn't have that many solutions. Does military first. Yeah, this needs to be stopped. And then have two characters with the power icon and stealth, so okay, that will work. The last of the gold though, and the faction card is knelt, so the only chance to bring other stuff into play probably now is that the Starfall Spy. So what can you do with stealth? Let's say you stealth one of them, then it's yeah, 7-5. They can win for sure. You could even blank Starfall Spy, then if the game is still alive. Any way to stop this? There are cards, of course, that come in for free from Shadows, but seems unlikely. Okay. That now leaves Rick or her free to do unopposed intrigue. Which would end the game, right? The other way would be to pass and try to win with dominance, defend power, but okay. That's not really on, so yeah, Francesco needs to answer this threat, otherwise it's over. Surprised he didn't put both in. This way he still has defenders and has more for dominance. Okay. Yeah, didn't have it. That political disaster. He would have had, let's say, 4 more gold to work with every round, or even more. I don't know exactly what was discarded. Throne was there, and yeah, these locations. So that would have made some difference. He could have paid for more cards, but yeah, Radek really played this masterfully, I think. So a very nice win, and for sure Radek is back on top now after losing the first 2 games. That's now 4 in a row for him, and he is now the best player in this team, like we expected him to be. So yeah, good start for Tyrell, but I can tell you that in my own prediction that I made, kind of loose prediction for how it's going to go, I did count myself and Radek as 2 possible wins, and yeah, the rest of the games should be more in Martell's favor, some of them at least, so I still have a tough job for sure, but good start. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see what else we can get recorded over the course of the week. So we'll see you next time.